Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. One of the privilege resolutions that was just laid on your desk is the privilege resolution for House Bill 1811. The rules call for a 3-hour layout, so at 6:18, I'm going to ask to be recognized for a motion to take up 1811 out of order. Excuse me, Senate Bill 1811. At that time, I will ask to be recognized to take it up out of order.
Mr. Gallego, for what purpose?
Parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Speaker.
State your inquiry.
Just so that we're all on the same page, the vote requirements for the passage of such a resolution would be
pursuant to Rule 14, Section 5. Standing rule of the House of affirmative vote is 2/3 of those present.
2/3 of those present, not a hard 100, but just the 2/3 of the members who are present.
2/3 of those present.
Okay. And with respect to the resolution has to pass with a 2/3 vote, and if assuming that it does that, we would proceed directly to Senate Bill 1811.
One moment, Mr. Gallego, we're checking that.
The motion does, the resolution doesn't.
Right.
I still want to know if this motion is just concerning the resolution, or is it concerning bringing up the entire bill?
Mr. Speaker?
For what purpose, Mr. Gallego?
Here's my parliamentary quandary.
State your inquiry.
Mr. Geren's motion to bring up the privilege resolution in 3 hours, that applies only to bringing up the resolution, not necessarily bringing up 1811 itself, or does it apply to bringing up both the resolution and 1811?
Chair recognizes Mr.
Because
Geren.
the resolution is eligible after 3 hours.
The resolution will be eligible after 3 hours. After the resolution is done, I'm going to ask to be recognized to bring up House or Senate Bill 1811.
Okay, so the resolution and then 1811 will follow immediately thereafter.
I don't know that it will, Pete. I'm just going to ask to be recognized for that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Geren.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, then assuming that 1811 comes up right after the resolution does, what are the time limits of debate with respect to 1811?
Mr. Gallego, will be 10 minutes to open. Parties may speak for or against.
And those parties, there's 10 minutes to open, and that is the only part of the that is allowed for question and answer, because at that point the authors of the bill would not be at the microphone. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. In terms of getting the bill out of order, would that apply? Is the chair intending to recognize any motion to push the midnight deadline further back?
I don't believe that's Mr. Geren's motion.
It is not, Mr. Speaker, but with respect, there's other stuff on the calendar, and it's eligible very close to midnight. And I know there's been conversation about suspending the rule so that we will be able to consider stuff after midnight. Is it the chair's intent to recognize anyone for that motion?
The chair would have to consider a motion when it's made.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.